let's get into the top 3 suburbs to invest in the Lower North Shore. And I'm going to start with a very, should I say, quintessential North Shore suburb, and that is Camaray. So for those who don't know where Camaray is, it's basically between Cremorne and Northbridge on the Middle Harbour side as the Lower North Shore. And this is just a view of basically Tunks Park and basically the bay by there. Beautiful area. That's right near Long Gully Bridge. This would be taken from one of the homes near Long Gully Bridge, funny enough. But the thing about Camaray is it's a very quiet suburb, and it's also mostly low density. It's quite village-like, mind you. A lot of little coffee shops, little restaurants via there as well. Very quiet. Lots of parking on the streets, but it's very close to the city too. But look, the thing about it is it's actually extremely cheap for its location. I know it sounds crazy to say that because it is in the Lower North Shore of Sydney, but comparing it to somewhere like Northbridge, which is arguably in a worse location than Camaray, which I genuinely think it is, you've actually got a $2 million discount on it just alone from Northbridge, and Cremorne as well, which is also neighbouring. It's about $1.8 million discount on it. So you'll see here Northbridge alone $5.4 million median price compared to Camaray's $3.247 $500 median price. So it's actually about a bit over $2 million more than it, though it's better located. So in terms of that, what you'll see is I think Northbridge is actually overpriced now. Probably a fair price for it's probably about 4 to 4.2 mil. But you'll see somewhere like Camaray, like its counterparts, start to pick up to something more towards what it's worth. So it'll probably pick up towards that $4 million mark, especially as interest rates start to come down. So that's a good thing. And as well, look, it's hard to get good yield here, but I mean, I found places here literally for 3% yield, which is very good for this location. It's very hard. Sometimes a slight bit more. So if you've got a big budget, it's a good suburb definitely to consider in the Lower North Shore. Let's go to the next suburb, and this one is crazy because I've been mentioning it for a while, but still like very well priced. It's very underpriced for where it is as well, and that suburb is Neutral Bay. Now, look, Neutral Bay is one of Sydney's best located suburbs. It's only about 4 k's from the Sydney CBD. It does front the water as well, and it is right next to all the main transport of the Lower North Shore. It's very easy to get around in Neutral Bay because you obviously you're close to the stations of North Sydney, and you're close to a lot of bus lines that run through it too, and actually Military Road too. So it's good for all of that. But the median at the moment is literally still under $3 million, which is incredible. And I mean, the thing about Neutral Bay too is it's an old money suburb, like a very established wealth suburb. You do have a mix of sort of lower density and medium density here, but what I'm talking about here is the low density, particularly houses. The people that actually live in here are mainly families. So you'll see here that middle income there, $3,600 a week or $3,600 a week. That's the average family income in Neutral Bay, and most of it as well is old money too. So most people own their homes outright here or with very low mortgages. And for $2.775 million, that's so cheap for Neutral Bay because if you look at its surrounding suburbs, like your Cremornes, like your Mosmans, like your Carrabba points or Cremorne points, they're all like literally $5 million and above. So this is almost like half the price of it. So it's just insane. So, I mean, I've actually found places in Neutral Bay to even yield about 3.2 to 3.4% sometimes, which is crazy. I've seen properties even right down to about $2.2 million here. So it's a really good suburb to consider in Sydney's Lower North Shore. And that's actually it sounds crazy, but a reasonable budget for Sydney's Lower North Shore as well. Let's finish up with the final suburb I'm going to mention, and that suburb is Waverton. So, look, for those that don't know where Waverton is, it's on the West Harbour as well. It's very close to Wollstonecroft. It's right next to it. It's right next to North Sydney as well. Now, Waverton's got 2 particular parts to it. It's got your kind of North Sydney section and then the section on the other side of the train line and around the train line, which is almost all lower density. So you got basically probably about, I'd say 60% units, 40% homes. But of the homes there, they're very good to invest in. They do 9.5 to 10% growth. And I mean, Waverton as well is extremely cheap because you're still picking these homes up for around 3 to 3.3 million. And your surrounding suburbs like your McMahon's Point and your Wollstonecroft are like $4 and $5 million. So it's very cheap. And Waverton is one of the few suburbs that's actually, believe it or not, on a train line and it's harbour front. There's very few that are on that. It used to be called Bull's Head years and years ago, but you can see the train line just on the right here. That's the Harbour Bridge in the background. It's about 3 to 4 k's from Sydney CBD, and it's walkable distance to North Sydney Station as well. So you're not going to go wrong here in Waverton buying a home here. So that's really good. And you can see just here some of the walks along there, like along the parks, they have beautiful views of the harbour. Some of the best West Harbour views in terms of the Sydney fireworks and just the Sydney sunrise and sunset as well. So you're not going to go wrong there either buying for that as well.